Welcome to It's Been How Long? The podcast about Cherry Hill High School East students from the late 1970s and early 80s. This is Kara Siegel. I'd like to welcome in Barbara Stewart Hoag to It's Been How Long? Hey, Barb.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a
Uh,
while.
it it has been a while. It's been, well, no, I've seen you
Yes,
and
not for you and I, but
for
for
you.
some people, it's been a while.
Yes. Though it has been a bit of a time for us. God, I can't remember the last time we were together up in Jersey. That has been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah, yeah. So, what are you up to? What are you doing for fun these
Still
days?
working, still
Still
working.
working?
Just part-time now. I went part-time a few years ago. I had been, I work at Cooper Hospital as a medical technologist in the lab. I started out there right after college, worked for 10 years, went weekends for 17 years while our daughters were growing up. And then when our youngest went into high school, I went back full time. And then in 2020, I went back to part
Huh?
time. So they've been good to me. It's been a while, but still there, still loving it. Everyone's like, so when are you retiring? I'm like, not yet.
Yeah. If you're enjoying it, man, keep at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So just a few days a week, one weekend a month, but it's all good.
Oh,
No
that's great.
complaints. Yeah.
What are you doing for fun?
Um, Still traveling, trying to get back to we're big cruise fans, but we
Oh,
haven't done one since COVID. So
yeah.
we're gonna do it this summer. I think we're gonna wait till next summer. Hopefully cruise to Alaska.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But and just, family stuff, getting together with the family. We've done some family vacations over the last few years, and
Have you
but
joined the pickleball craze?
I have not. A good friend of mine that just retired, she joined it and she's trying to recruit me. I played it before it was popular. Greg's parents live out in Arizona and it was very popular out there probably 20 years ago. And so I haven't
You were
joined it
ahead of
yet,
you were
but
ahead of your
oh
time.
yeah, trendsetter, absolutely. So I would like to get involved. Maybe that'll be a retirement thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so what did you enjoy doing back in high school?
A lot of sports.
Yeah.
Good sports. I was still dancing in a dance studio. Just hanging out with friends most of the time, friends and family. I
R-
enjoyed.
r- Remind us which sports you were involved in.
I played field hockey all 4 years, played lacrosse all 4 years, and I was a cheerleader the last couple of years. Freshman year, I did the school play.
Yeah.
That was mainly because fall and spring, the sports were good. Winter sports, I was not a basketball player and not a competitive swimmer. So I turned to drama and that was a disaster. So then I went cheerleading.
What was the school play our freshman year?
Freshman year, it was Hello Dolly and
Oh,
I loved it. I mean, I loved the dancing and the theatrics and all that. And I had one part in the play where it was me and another girl. We were on the edges of a park bench and our dancing partners did cartwheels in between us. And mine kicked me in the head and knocked me off the bench. So that was the end of drama.
that
No more
was
plays.
that was the start of drama.
Yes, that was the end of the school play. So then
Okay.
junior and senior year, I was cheerleading instead, just to have something to do in the winter.
Yeah, getting thrown in the air is much safer than having
Oh
someone
yeah,
cartwheel into your
absolutely.
head.
Absolutely. Although back then I don't remember being thrown too much. I did basketball cheerleading, so I don't think we did many throws.
Okay. Did you have a job back in high school?
I did. I worked at Green Valley, waitressing with Kathy Zeberline,
Oh,
and we had quite a few laughs there, which Green Valley is no longer.
hmm.
But it was fun. It was money. It was We had a lot of friends there that were. It was pretty fun after hours, so
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
And that's great. So what did you do after graduation?
I went straight to college. I went to Elizabethtown out near Lancaster. There were very few schools that had medical technology. I was a chemistry major with a concentration in medical technology, and Elizabethtown happened to be one of the schools. that did it was 3 years in school and then a full year of an internship. Most schools did a 4-in-1. So I did a 3-in-1 there. I did my internship at St. Joe's Hospital in Lancaster. Came home in July and started working at Cooper in October.
Oh.
I've been
Did
there
you
every
play
day.
any did you play any sports in college?
I did. I played field hockey in college also.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. We got to, in fact, the first year before I started college, that summer, the team, I mean, I wasn't recruited or anything like that, but the first summer before I started college, the team had already planned a trip to England, Scotland, and Wales, and
Oh,
I got
wow.
to go. So we
Oh, that's
played hockey
awesome.
over there against men, which was interesting. I'd never done that before, but it was fun. I think
No.
that's when the travel bug hit.
Yeah. Yeah. So where are you living now?
I am in Berlin, about 12 miles from home. Didn't go very far. I
Yeah.
love the area. My husband's from upstate New York. We met on a cruise
Oh,
and dated for a while, and then he moved down here, and we got married and we lived in Mount Laurel for a little while, and then had a house built here in Berlin, and have been here ever since.
oh, that's
So
great.
yeah,
So where else have you been able to cruise to or travel to?
we did a lot of most of. I met him on a cruise in '86, I guess it was. So we did a lot of Eastern, Western Caribbean, the western coast of Mexico. We haven't done any European or anything like that yet. But a lot of pretty much twice a year for a while. Then when the girls were younger, we wanted to see if they got the cruise bug, and we took them on a Disney cruise, and they
Okay.
loved it. So they
I don't
continued.
think you ever want to get a cruise bug.
No, no, not that kind of bug. But so yeah, so like I said, since COVID, we haven't been, but itching to get back out there.
Okay, that's great. Have you traveled anywhere within the country?
Well, like Greg's parents live, or his mom now, his father's passed away, but they live in Arizona. So we used to go out there every year. In fact, we have a trip planned out there for September.
Nice.
But other than that, just family in New England, friends, Virginia, nothing too crazy, but Vegas, I've been there a few times. New Orleans, hopefully a trip to Nashville next year. But
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great. You met anybody famous through your travels?
Let's see. I don't really think so. Some pictures, Elvis in Las Vegas, but I don't think it was the real Elvis.
Oh.
Something else. But no, other than that, I mean, some entertainment on the cruise ships, but nothing personal,
Yeah, yeah.
nothing handshake.
So, was there a class or a teacher at East that impacted you beyond our high school days?
Um, I mean, I had some favorites. I think Mr. Vranich, and I mean, I know you remember Mr. Kim, QPS.
Oh, yeah.
I think just not that they were super fun or anything, but just very interested in science. I was always a science geek, science and math. But I think probably coaches more than anything. I had Karen Fitzpatrick for field hockey. I just saw her a couple years ago. She was inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
And Sue Schooley, I've seen her a few times over the years because our daughters have played sports. And unfortunately, for anyone who's watching and didn't know, she passed away last month. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
and of course, our assistant field hockey coach my senior year was Cheryl Dreyer, who became my sister-in-law. My older brother married her. So she was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you have a high school sweetheart?
I did not. I did not. I had a lot of guy friends. I went to proms with friends, but nobody that I would call my sweetheart.
Greg is your sweetheart.
Yes, he is. He definitely is my sweetheart for 33 years. Well, more than that, but married for 33. So,
Oh, that's great. That's
yeah.
great. And you have two kids, and they're
Yes, two daughters. Erin, our oldest, is 28. She's a doctor in her last year of her residency for emergency medicine. And Allison is our younger daughter. She's 26, and she is a fourth grade teacher.
and that's great.
So, yeah. So then they both live in Philly, so they're nice and close. We see them quite often, thankfully. So it's all good.
Wonderful. Do you have friends from East you're still in touch with? Besides me.
Yeah. Um, I I mean, a lot through Facebook.
Yeah.
Still some Christmas cards here and there, but probably the most often is I still am in touch with Celine at the time, Celine Flynn, Eddie Jane Zellers, Kathy Zeberline.
Oh,
We've gotten together a few times. I just saw Celine and BJ in May. Celine lives up in Maine or lives in North Jersey, but works up in Maine. She was down for a lacrosse tournament. So
okay.
we got together in Philly. Dave Brawley, I'm still very close with. Was at his daughter's wedding a few years ago. Keep in touch with him. He's a grandfather now.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen, I run into Jeff Lyons every once in a while in the area. I ran into him and Eddie and Rob Thurston unfortunately, at Scott Wishart's parents' funeral. Scott Wishart and I
Oh,
grew next door to each other. So
oh, wow.
I knew his family very well. So run into them a few times, but and Kim Kerbeck, she's a
Oh,
good friend of mine. So I see her every once in a while. But other than
oh,
that, it's mostly Facebook. But
yeah.
it's nice to kind of keep in touch with what everybody's up to.
Is Kathy Severline on Facebook?
Yes,
Okay.
she's Kathy Reynolds. I don't think Zeberline comes up on hers.
Okay. Okay.
So, but yeah, she is.
All right. Anybody you were tight with that you lost touch with that you're
Lost
wondering about?
completely with probably, well, I would say when we played field hockey, Kathy Bell is there was
Yeah.
we were the Super Seven. It was the four of us, and then Kathy Bell, Chris Coach, and Sue Ryback. Sue Ryback and Chris Coach, I have not had any kind of
Contact
communication
with.
with. I don't know if they're on Facebook. I've looked for them before. Kathy Bell, I see on Facebook,
Oh,
so I
okay.
see her every once in a while. But
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of
Sue
the
Ryback's on Facebook.
is she okay?
Yeah.
Some of the people year ahead of us, a year behind us that I played sports with, but again, mostly through Facebook. But I don't know that I've completely lost touch with anyone
Anyone? Yeah.
really close to.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
So, do you have a standout memory from high school? Could be a really good experience, something that didn't
Good
go as well.
experience was probably our senior year when we won states in field hockey.
Oh,
First for a lot of us. So, and I think through my daughters being involved in sports and being at East, from what I understand, that was the only one for me.
oh, wow. That's
So
really something.
that was the only banner anyway. So
Yeah. Oh, so your kids went to East?
my kids actually went to Eastern,
Oh,
but played
okay.
a lot of sports, so they always played against East. So they
Right.
were, they're there a few times. I've been back there. Well, my younger brother, he was class of '88. He played sports, so I was back there to watch him. And then from 2009 to 2015 to watch my daughters.
Yeah. So, have
So
you
yeah,
actually been back in the building, or
a few times in the building for basketball, mostly out on the field for field hockey.
when you
But
were back in the building, how did it make you feel?
old. I probably would get lost now. I
Uh,
don't, and although I mean the Eastern was about almost the same size as East, and
oh, okay.
there I didn't feel quite as lost when they were there, but it seemed a little bit smaller than I remember, but still confusing.
Oh, goodness. Anything you wish classmates knew about you, either then or now, that maybe they didn't know?
I don't know. I don't know that I really had any secrets that have come out since then. So,
So we're back in 1980, and we've just graduated, and you're looking out into the future, 40 years down the road. Did you see
oh,
yourself where you are?
um, hmm. Probably not too different. I mean, I figured something in science or math, so healthcare was not too much of a stretch. Hoping to have, be settled with children, which is accomplished. Never would have pictured COVID in my future,
Uh,
never. And unfortunately, in healthcare, you know how hard that hit. So
yeah.
it was a bit of a mess. But I think we're coming back from it. We don't wear masks anymore, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, I don't think anything too surprising. I mean, I don't think I thought I would have met someone from not from around here, but that
Oh,
was a pleasant surprise. So, because I
yeah.
never went too far, after college, just kind of moved back home. Then after I met Greg, and started from there. But so yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. But other than that, nothing too crazy.
If you could have envisioned your dream job, would you have been a professional athlete, professional dancer,
Mm.
or or is there a
I did dance again after college, and as an adult, I did tap dancing. That when my daughters were involved in dance, but I could never picture that. I don't think that was. I don't think Broadway was in the cards for me. I originally wanted to be a vet, but
Hmm.
I realized that I would, if I had to put an animal to sleep, I would be sitting right there crying with the rest of the
Hmm.
family. So that was probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
So stayed in science, stayed in medicine, but just went the lab route instead. So that, I guess that's my dream job. It has been a great job over the years. So I guess it's my dream job now.
Okay. That's good. Did you enjoy high school?
I actually did. I loved high school. I would go back. I mean, not that I don't want to be where I am now, but
Right.
it was a great time. I mean, I think a lot of it had to do with the, friends that I had, the people I hung out with, the crowd that I was with, the classes I took, the school itself. I mean, my husband came from a very small high school, and the first reunion he came to with me, he was like, "Well, who's that?" Like, I don't know. He goes, "What do you mean you don't know?" I said, "Well, there was over 700 of us. I didn't know unless I played sports with them or they were in my homeroom or my class. I didn't know who they were." He goes, and we went to his reunion. Of course, he knew everybody. So that was kind of an eye opener. But yeah, I would definitely go back. I loved high school.
Hmm. So if you had to give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, or maybe you gave this advice to your 18-year-old kids, what would it be?
Hmm. Probably don't be afraid to try anything. Venture out. I mean, like I said, we started them young with traveling. They've traveled since then. They traveled in high school. They still travel mostly together, but they still mostly in the country, but they go on trips all the time. But yeah, just don't be afraid to be out there. Just do live on the edge.
Yeah. No, very sound advice. Very sound advice. I think we kind of played it safe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So we're calling this the Fast and Furious finish. I don't know if it's going to be Fast or Furious, but so did you have a favorite TV show or movie or book from back in high school?
Hmm. Book, I don't remember book probably because I didn't really have a whole lot of time to read. I love to read now, but back then probably Saturday Night Live for
Mm.
shows. All in the Family, which of course would have been barred from TV in this day and age. Never would have gotten away with that. Um, hmm. Used to watch Johnny Carson with my parents a lot. That was
Yeah.
Happy Days.
Yeah.
Yeah, the oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
Um, Movies probably. Hmm. Saturday Night Fever. I think that was out when we were in high school. Or Grease. A lot of singing and dancing stuff.
Yeah. That's great. Did you have a favorite musical genre, group, artist you liked?
I think pretty much classic rock. I like Fleetwood Mac, Police, Billy Joel. I still like all that stuff. In
Yeah.
college for a while, a lot of my friends were into, like the Stones, Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd, all those. I still listen to that, but
Yeah.
probably classic rock would be the best way to classify the genre itself.
Did you have a place that you like to hang out or eat in high school?
Probably Kaminsky's because it was right down the street.
That's
Uh,
right. Yeah.
Winston's was a favorite.
Have you
Friendly.
been back? Are they there?
I was
Oh,
actually,
Kaminsky's there.
Kaminsky's is still there. Green Valley's not. Friendly's, there's one, I think, not anywhere near here, probably about 20 minutes away. Winston's, I don't think is still around. Kaminsky's is still around. I was just there over the weekend to see a band for happy hour on Friday, and it's very different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite as dark as I remember it being inside,
Yeah.
but and we've been there a few times over the years for different family things, get-togethers with,
I think we had one reunion there, didn't we?
we might have. We
Yeah.
might have.
I
Yeah.
don't know which one, but
Wow.
maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
remember either, but they're getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably Kaminsky's is the first thing that comes to mind. Like I said, only because it was so local, and when we were 18 and legal, it was easy to go there.
Yes. Yes. Because we only went when we were legal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So reach back here.
Oh no, no, no.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. All right.
Oh my goodness. No
So
bangs.
what's that?
No bangs.
No bangs. You didn't put a quote. You didn't have a
No,
quote. No.
no, I did not have a quote. I don't having anything famous to say.
Yeah. I just remember we all had to wear cowl necks. That was the big thing. Like
Yes.
all of
Oh
us.
yeah.
And the guys had
Yep.
to wear suits.
Hmm. Yeah. I
Did
don't
you
think
like
I've
your
worn a
picture?
cowl neck. I don't think I've worn a cowl neck since then.
Right. Did you like your picture?
No,
No.
absolutely not. I don't like any. I hate my pic. I don't like to have my picture taken. I like to be behind the camera. And so yeah, I no, I did not care for that one.
Oh goodness. Here's another question. Do you have any idea why we have this we had this Western theme to the
No,
yeah.
no, I do not. And with there's yeah, there was a lot of Western stuff in there, and this the page
Yeah.
colors of the pages, and
Yeah.
yeah, nope, it's beyond me. Who do we know that we should ask? Well, Jeff
Well,
Lyons, didn't he say he did do something with the yearbook? He was the
he did.
paper of the yearbook.
Yeah. Yeah. He took some
Okay.
pictures, he said, for the yearbook. So this is what I've found so far. So um Deborah Smead, who's one of the editors, does not know why.
Oh,
Um,
that's
but the last person I talked to was Doug Byrne, and he was in that picture with Julie Dollinger.
yes.
And he said that was for like part of Spirit Week.
Oh, okay.
So
Sounds
I
good.
don't know if that was the impetus for the yearbook or not, but that is my quest, is to figure that out.
Now, have you talked to anyone yet that knows what Eidolon means, or is
Well,
combo?
so I looked it up. So
Okay.
and it's that, it's Greek and it means, apparition or idealized figure.
Okay.
But no one has gotten that yet. But
Oh,
I
all
think I've
right.
asked that so many times that
I
you
have
don't
no
get that question. I think you had it written down. You prepped for this.
idea what, but I've wondered. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, your brothers and sisters had the
oh
same
yeah,
thing. My
yeah,
older brothers. Yeah, it's the
yeah.
same name. Don't know
Yeah.
who
My older
who
brother was
originated it.
72. My younger brother I can ask them, but I doubt they'll any of
Yeah, yeah. And so last is, do you have any final things you want to share? Say, offer up?
them. Come to the 50th reunion, everybody.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, I mean, like I said, it's been great. You were the one that got me hooked on Facebook, and I can't thank you enough, because otherwise I wouldn't know what heck our class is up to. That's been a great connection. But no, it's been good to see the people I have seen and have kept in touch with, and hopefully I'll see a lot of them on the podcast. And
I hope
other
so too.
yeah, other than that, nothing major. Just enjoyed seeing you, and I'll keep watching the podcast.
I appreciate that. I want to thank you
Been a great idea.
oh, thanks. I want to thank you for coming on and agreeing to be part of my project here.
No
It's
problem.
great
Thank you
catching
for
up.
inviting me. Enjoy
Yeah,
retirement.
yeah, yeah. Well, you'll get there
Yes, I
when
will.
you're ready. When you're ready.
That's right. That's
When you're
right.
ready. When you're ready. Well, thanks for being on, Barb.
Thanks for having me. It's good to see you.
See everybody next
Bye.
time. Thanks for joining me on It's Been How Long? The podcast about Cherry Hill High School East students from the late 1970s and the early 80s. A shout out to my cousin Brad Corbett, whose podcast We Weren't Friends in High School inspired me to do this podcast and whose advice and encouragement have been so helpful. Thanks also to my husband, Randy Cockdale, who read all the fine print on the podcast hosting website so I wouldn't have to. And thanks to Jeff Lyons, content consultant and guinea pig, and to Deborah Smead, also content consultant. And thank you to all our classmates who are listening in. See you next week.